Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello grade 3s and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is body parts and decision making. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we know that we need to sanitize. Remember, you can always use soap and water to sanitize as well. Just make sure that you wash your hands and rinse them for 30 seconds. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. For today's lesson, we will be talking about vocabulary words, sight words, fractions, and measurements. Now, boys and girls, let us start our lesson by going to page 6. On page 6, we are going to be doing our vocabulary words and our sight words. Now, remember, vocabulary words are new words that we may or may not know and we'll try and use to improve our English. So, let us begin. We'll start by reading them. Parts, body, function, heart, lungs, kidney, stomach. Let's read them again. Parts, body, function, heart, lungs, kidney, stomach. Now that we have read them twice, let us say what each means. Now, the word parts is a word that describes many different things that are put together to form one thing. So, the word parts shows that there are many different elements that have been put together. The word body means one and only. This can be a body of water, but in this case, we're talking about our bodies. And then we have function. The word function in this case is the job that the body parts do. What are they made for? And some of the body parts that we have inside that we cannot see, the first one is the heart. Now, the heart is used to pump blood all over our bodies. And when it pumps blood, that means everything is nice and healthy. If the heart stops, then that means the person is no longer living. So our hearts start beating from a very young age up until we are no more. Then we have lungs. We use our lungs to breathe in and out. So every breath you take in and out goes through the lungs. Then we have kidney. Now, the kidney has a special job in the body. It is used to clean our bodies. So our kidneys have an important job to make sure that anything that was not supposed to be in our bodies, it makes sure it cleans it so that it can be disposed of later on. And last but not least, we have the stomach. Now the stomach is where all the delicious food goes to. So if we eat something now, all the food will be processed in the stomach. It stores food and then it processes the food so that it can go to the right parts of the body. So these are our vocabulary words. And as we are doing this topic, boys and girls, I want you to please practice using them. Let's now take a look at our sight words. Our sight words for today are, let's read them together, were, legs, head, them, ears, feet, hands, teeth, nose, and chin. Now all of our sight words I'm sure we have used before, and it is our job to look for them in the word search. Be careful on how you're going to be looking for your words and make sure you take your time for each. Let's do some together. Let's take a look at the board. Now I have chosen some sight words for you to do. We're going to do hands together, nose, legs, and feet. But before we do them, I want you to show me those body parts. These are, of course, your hands. Now, they do many different things. They're used to grab, they're used to feel. You can touch something and feel the texture, and you can even talk with your hands. Then we have the nose. The nose is used to smell. You can smell good smells. They're called scents. And if you smell a good scent, maybe it's a perfume or a flower or something delicious. And then there are those bad scents that I don't want to talk about. Then we have our legs. We use our legs to walk and to run, to do exercises, to dance. We use our legs for many different things. Then we have our feet. Our feet also help us to walk and keep balance as we are walking, especially our toes. So these are the body parts we're going to try and look for in our word search. The first one we're going to look for is hands. Now, as usual, boys and girls, we start with the first letter, and it's either we go across or down. As we find our letters, we need to make sure they're the right ones. We have an H here, an A, an N, a D, and an S. So that means the word hands has been found. Well done, everyone. Make sure you circle neatly so that we can still see the word. And then after that, cross it out so you don't have to look for it again. The next one we're going to look for is nose. We're going to start by looking for a N. So we are going to go down because the first time we went across, now we need to go down. We have an N here. There's an O. There's an S and an E. So we have found our word nose. So we're going to circle our word nose. And then we'll cross it out so we don't look for it again. Now we have the word legs. We're going to start by looking for the O. Now this one's a little tricky because there's all over the place. The first one we're going to do is this one. We have found our O, and then there's an E, but then there's no G. So this one is wrong. Now we need to check the other O. This O here has no E next to it except for this one. And then after that, there's no other letters. So we cannot use this O. Let's try this one. We have this O that has an E at the end, the L, but then there's no G, it is a D. So this one is not going to be our legs. Let's try this E. We have an L, an E, an L, an E, a G, and an S. A G and an S. So this is correct, which means our word today is not going to be vertical or horizontal, but it's stretching across. So it's coming like this. Watch carefully because I'm going to circle only the letters that are important to the word. Remember, we said some letters will be sharing. And so this is what has happened. If you check closely, we have shared our E from the word nose and our S from the word hands. It still makes all of them correct. So now when you're doing your word search, try and do it with different colors. That way you will know which word is for which one, which letter is for which one. So now we have found our word legs. The last one we need to find is feet. We take a look at F. We look for our F. And it looks like on this one we only have one F. If we check carefully, we have our F, our E, our other E, and our T. So this is our word. We're going to circle it carefully and then cross it out. So have fun with this word search, boys and girls. Make sure that you practice both your vocabulary words and your sight words. And if you're not sure what they are, you can always ask an adult for help. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Now, boys and girls, we're going to do a little bit of mathematics. We're going to start our maths today on page 7. On page 7, we have what are called fractions. Everyone, let's say fractions. Now, fractions is when we have parts of a whole shape or something else. You can see that parts of the shapes we can see are colored and then the other parts are not. So we're going to first show you what a fraction really is and then how to write it in numbers for each of them. Let's take a look at the board. Now the fractions that we can see on the board are just the same as the ones in your book. You can see that the first thing we notice about a fraction is that all the parts are equal sizes. It's because each part is one fraction. So this is a fraction, this part is also a fraction, and the whole part is a fraction. So the first thing we need to do is count how many parts we have. In this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are going to write the total number of parts, which is 6. But we are not yet done. It is asking us how many fractions are in each model. So we know that the ones that are colored or shaded are the ones that need to be on top because those are the ones we're looking for, the colored ones. But how do we write them? Well, first we need to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. So these ones are the ones that are colored in. And to write them, we put a line on top of our total and then we write how many we have that are colored. So we have now come to our correct fractions. So we know that there are 4/6 that are shaded or colored. 4/6. Then let's try and do the next one. We can see that first we have our number. How many do we have altogether in the model? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know that we have 4 parts in total of our model. But it's not asking us how many we have altogether. It's asking us how many are shaded as separate fractions. So first we have to put a line over our total, and then we count how many are shaded. 1, 2. Now we know that there are 2. And when we are reading this one, we say 2 quarters. 2 quarters. So take your time. The first thing you need to do is count how many pieces there are in the model, and you write that number below because that's your total. And then after that, you will count how many are colored in or have color. You're going to put a line on top of your total and then write the ones that are colored in. Take your time with this one. It's very, very easy, boys and girls. Just make sure you count out loud so you don't make a mistake. So the bigger number is always at the bottom. Now, let's go to the next page, page 8. On page 8, we are going to continue with our mathematics, but this time we will be focusing on measurement. Now, when we measure something, we use the unit of measurement, which is centimeters. cm, that's what centimeters is. For this exercise, we're going to start by estimating. Each thing that you can see needs to be first estimated, which means to guess. We need to guess how many centimeters each of the things are. And then after that, you will actually use a ruler and measure. Let's take a look at the ruler that I have here. Now this one is our ruler, our class ruler. But with this one, it's much, much bigger than your normal ruler. This is the actual size of a ruler. I'm only showing you with this one so you can try and see the numbers. When we measure something, boys and girls, we start right at the tip here. Here you will see a 0 and a cm. This is where you will begin your measurement. Each line is 1 centimeter. And once you get to 10, it will show you the number 10. So here we have 10, 20, 30. Most of your rulers are 30 centimeters. But because this is for a board, a chalkboard, it's much, much longer. So you're going to use your ruler to write the proper measurement. The first thing when you are guessing or estimating, you don't need a ruler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and guess how long our model is for this one. Looking at it, I think maybe it is 40 centimeters. So I have guessed, I have estimated 40. So I'm going to write 40. So after guessing and writing my guess down, I'm going to use my ruler to measure. So I'm going to start where my 0 is, and I'll put it straight right across, and I'm going to hold my ruler down, and then after that try and see where the line for the last measurement is. This looks like it is 58. So the model is not 40. In fact, I was wrong. It is 58. Now remember, with your estimating, there's no wrong answer. Please make sure that you estimate or you guess very carefully. But when you are actually using your ruler, please read them exactly the way you see it. So estimating is just by looking with our eyes, and then the measurement is when we use our ruler. Take your time with this one. Ask someone to even help you so that you know that you're doing the right thing with your ruler. I will see you soon after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
Boys and girls, we have now come to the end of our lesson. I hope you managed to do all the exercises, and don't worry, if you're not sure what to do or you need a little bit of help, it's okay to ask. Make sure though that when you are done, you have practiced and finished your exercises. Now that we are done with all of our work, we need to sanitize. Remember, when we sanitize, we're trying to be responsible by staying safe. Coronavirus is still out there, boys and girls, so we need to make sure that we are staying nice and safe. Make sure your hands are dry before you touch anything else. Sashi and I are going to go outside and take a little bit of a walk. I feel like stretching my legs. Sashi, where are you? Let's go for some exercise. There you are. Are you ready for our walk? Wonderful. So, from Sashi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today, boys and girls, and goodbye.
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.